So now I'm going to show you some techniques for subtractive modeling. Subtractive modeling just refers to a modeling technique where you're subtracting volume from a structure in order to create a sculpture. So if you were working in a block of marble, you would chip away at the marble. In this case, we're doing subtractive modeling in the wood shop using a block of wood, and we're kind of going to use the same techniques in Autodesk Inventor. So you're going to open your CO2 car blank in Autodesk Inventor by clicking File, Open. You're going to go find that file in your engineering folder. So you're going to look, it says look in, and you're going to open up your P drive, find your CO2 car blank in the engineering folder, and then you're going to open that file. Okay, so here's our original, and if we make a lot of mistakes, I don't want to have to recreate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it with a different file name. I'm going to say File Save As, and I'm going to call it File CO2 Car Subtractive Modeling. And I'm going to put my first initial and my last name. I know that this is fine. So if you turn it in, oh, I have to name it something different. If you turn it in, I'll know that it's your file. Okay, so you can see this is at the top. It says my file name, CO2 Car Subtractive Modeling, R. Kaplan. And we're going to start with this model. So you can see I've got my CO2 chamber in the back. Okay, and then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle on this face. So we're going to bring our mouse over this face. We're going to right click, new sketch, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and pan this down a little. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that I can see where my CO2 chamber is. Now, if I turn the view cube, I can see it. But if I just use the project geometry, and it's not project geometry, it's project geometry. So I can take this geometry and project it into my sketch so I don't cut my CO2 chamber in two pieces. So I'm going to hover over these and it's going to turn white. And if I click it, it'll project in yellow. So then I know I don't want to cut through that area. I'm going to select my circle tool and I'm going to start drawing a circle right about on the y-axis. So I'm going to snap to, I don't know how many, several inches above it. And I'm going to bring this down so that it makes a nice curve in the front of my car. The diameter for this one looks about 9.6. It doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't, this green line doesn't go over your CO2 chamber. And then I'm going to draw a line from this edge. I'm going to zoom way in here and I'm going to snap to this area. So you can see that yellow cursor snaps there. You can zoom out a little bit. And you'll notice you get these little symbols here. And I'm going to trim the outer pieces of my circle here so I don't have that circle anymore. Trim. Okay, and I'm going to finish sketch. And then I'm going to extrude. Now, I don't want to extrude a certain distance. I want to go through the whole thing, and then I want to go in the backwards direction. So it's going to extrude back that way. So you can extrude this way, you can extrude that way, you can extrude that way. All right, so that looks pretty good, right? If I wanted to round out those surfaces, I can fill it here. This radius is really small. If I change my radius to 0.5, we'll get a different preview. I'm going to edit that fillet, and we're going to make that radius 2. How about 4? Ooh, look at that. That's a little 24. I don't want a radius of 24. Let's try a radius of 4 inches. Looks nice. What about this one? Do that one a radius of 4. This one a radius of 4. Ooh, very fancy. Oh, very nice. Okay. So there we go. And we have this lovely curved surface. So I'm going to save that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add axle holes. I actually should have done the axle holes first. That's okay though. We're going to use a hole feature. I'm going to do linear placement again. The depth is going to be through all. Going to be 1/8 of an inch, 125 inches in diameter. And I'm going to place, actually, I do want to see if I can project that geometry there. Oh no, not. Put a hole there. And I'm going to do another hole right here. Okay, now I want to make sure that my my wheels don't that my wheels touch the ground where I need them to. So I need to make sure that these holes actually have